Karhala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth, which I believe through the Spirit is 100% of the truth. I'm your brother Malakama. I just want to do a quick lesson this morning on Jake is roused up. And it's kind of basically going off of headline events that's been, kind of been in the news or been, on Facebook or Twitter. And a lot of us, we see the thing that went down in Mississippi or Alabama, Slovakia, in Alabama. That was on the dock where the riverboat was. That once used to be a slave port, from what I gathered. Then you just see what's going on over there, and it's supposed to be in the land of Africa, where a lot of the nations over there, or the countries over there, are kind of forming an alliance and removing the European countries out of their lands, but it's just a lot going on in the world, and these things are like it's like a tide that's coming in. If you ever been at the beach and you sit there and watch the water, and anybody that done any fishing, you look for the incoming tide, try to catch some fish. And when the tide is out and you wait for the tide to turn, you hardly notice it because it's a gradual thing. It takes its time, if you don't really pay attention and you maybe leave for an hour and come back, and you can notice the difference. But just being there, you don't notice the residual tide that's coming in. It's going to come, but it's coming at its own pace. And that same thing in this truth, when you're looking at these situations that's unfolding in the world, those of us being in this truth, we know that the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is coming back, and he's going to take control of the earth. But being in our position and from our vantage point, man, and the way we see time and understand things, it unfolds at the pace that the Lord chooses for it, and us being where we are in our position, we don't notice this gradual change that's happening. And it's a change that's going on in the world, and you have to be well aware and pay attention or it'll pass you by. And the Lord is stirring these things up, So that thing that went down to Mississippi, was you could tell. I didn't really want to speak on it until after I kind of watched and kind of studied it for a little while, and and it's going to be a short lesson, but you could see the spirit that was roused up in Jake, during that time. And Jake, and mainly down there in Alabama, I might have said Mississippi again, but in Alabama, on that dock, man, that's where a lot of slaves were brought in. And majority of those people down in that area, most of them are from the tribe of Judah, And Judah being the chief tribe, those are the ones that are always going to set it off, because other tribes normally going to fall behind Judah. And you could just feel the spirit in the air when they was watching, I guess the guy that worked there being jumped by these Edomites, man, and it just got in the brother's spirits, and just people just started reacting, and you saw the young Jake, he dove into the water and he was swimming over there, and that was just all the spirit of the Lord. Then the other brothers running down, and it was just Jake had that chained up, all the way back from the time of slavery type of spirit that the Lord put on them, man, to come out there and stand their ground, man, because they're not going to sit there and watch another Jake get jumped and beat down or lynched or whatever, how it used to go down in the past. But don't make no mistakes about it. These white supremacist groups, they paying attention. They taking notice. They notice they've been quite mighty silent, but guaranteed that they're talking behind the scenes. And all that's, the Lord is stirring this pot up, man. Here we are in the month of August. This hottest part of the year. A lot of Jakes have been juiced up. You know, a lot of these Edomites have been juiced up. And it's a spirit of contention that's going to be in the air that the Lord is going to continue to stir that pot to create these situations, man, because he's stirring up what's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble, which is spoken of in the Bible. But let me go ahead and start with this first precept. It's going to be out of the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he who thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son. Thou art going up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as a lion, who shall rouse him up? So Judah, we represented, we're a representation of that lion, man. And all the tribes, Judah is the one that's been right up under the heel of Esau, Edom. He kept Judah very close because he tried to keep Judah in check. Being that they're the chief tribe, that's the tribe that Yahushua come out of, the Lord's son come out of, which we ignorantly call Jesus Christ. So Judah is being roused up, man, and the Lord is allowing him to do it, Judah's been through hell dealing with Esau. He's been attacked through his women. He took Jake's women, the tribe of Judah's women, and done whatever he wanted to do to her. Then brainwashed her. He then took Jake's tribe of Judah's children. He then broke up their families, man. Judah got a lot of pent-up, frustrated energy that he wants to inflict on these Edomites, man. His brother Esau Edom. And they are our brother when it goes back to Jacob and Esau. And it's just a spirit of contention that the Lord is bringing out, man. And like I say, over there in Africa, a lot of our people over there, they have the Hamite nations and the Canaanites, but a lot of our people has been dispersed throughout in the African continent as well, man. And that all these nations, these European nations, man, has a strong hold on Africa, and mainly by keeping it divided, man, keeping that tribal warfare going on, and where they can keep them divided so they can come in there and steal out all the resources. But now the African nations are, through the Lord putting the spirit in and waking them up, and they seeing these things are going on. The Lord has put a spirit on the people in these African nations to come together to kick these European countries out, but they are accepting China and Russia. But Russia's an Edomite, but they're less of the wicked out of these other nations that's been coming in and exploiting them. And so it's just a contention that's been put in the air. That just builds more contention between the U.S. and Russia, and between NATO and Russia and China. So the Lord has put his hooks in the jaws, man, of these nations, man, and it's going to be turned into, not only a time of Jacob's trouble here in Babylon the Great, but the third war, which is spoken of, World War III, man. So all these things are going to happen, and the Lord is changing that tide, man. The tide is slowly changing over, man, from one kingdom to the next kingdom that's going to come into rulership, which is going to be the kingdom of Yahushua, man, with King David, sitting on the throne, ruling in perpetual rulership, man. So Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest in that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth, and that woman, man, is talking about America. That's here in Babylon the Great, man. That great whore with that cup that's all these nations have drunken of. And by getting them drunk, she went in there and rifled the pocket, stole out their pockets. They end up getting the short end of the stick. So all these nations are going to turn on Babylon the Great, man. That whore is not as alluring, as beautiful as she was, After a period of time, a whore breaks down fast, man. And then once all the makeup and all that shit comes off, you see that bitch for who she really is, man. So, Lord is, He's changing the tide, man. He's bringing in a whole new change of rulership. He's creating strife and contention all over the earth, man. So we just have to endure and, stay in this truth, man. We have to hold opposition. We have to be being watchers and being seers and pay attention to what's going on. So with that, it's meant to be a short lesson. All praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah and the elders of GMS and the Akrim and Akwas that's in this truth. I'm your brother Malakma. Shalom.